All right, welcome everyone. As you can see, I have I got some friends here hanging out with me right now. I guess they wanted to. This is Jolene, and this is Coda. So I guess they wanted to be here for this. Well, I see Shelly saying I had a feeling this was coming. Olive Juice is saying didn't see this coming. Well, I mean, this should have been considered a possibility. I considered it a possibility because the fact is, I mean, I did my best to get a straight answer out of him last night. I didn't get a straight answer out of him last night. So, but this isn't what you think. I'm going to explain what this is. Okay. So the reason why I'm going live in the middle of the afternoon, totally just, on the fly here. This is not one of those issues because I don't want, I mean, the trash channels are going to start going nuts over this. And then they're going to start saying that, there's all the every cop in the state is looking for him and blah, 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 blah. No. It's nothing like that. And I'm going to explain. Okay. But before I do, I want to say hello to everybody. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Now, again, it's not, again, a warrant for someone is not always necessarily just black and white. That's it. We're looking for you and we're going to do everything we can to take you down and take you to jail. That's not necessarily what the case is here. So, let me go ahead and show. All right. So what we've got here, you guys can see that okay? Probably not. Let me just make the whole screen here. That's not much better. And I can't really enlarge it either. So sorry about that. So the charge is failure to appear. Okay. And the type of warrant is a capious warrant. I think I'm saying that right. And the bond amount is $20,000. So it is Seguin, Texas. So it's failure to appear to civil court, and it's a capious warrant or copious warrant. I don't know how you say that. And it was issued today because obviously there was a court date and he failed to appear to that court date. And that was the big question yesterday. Is he going to show up to court? And apparently he led us to believe that there probably wasn't going to be a court date. But Seeging, thank you, Suzanne Tanner. I said Susan. You're correcting me on how to say something, and I mispronounced your name. What's up, Maxie? So yeah, this is basically right here. This is and again, I don't know how you say the type of warrant it is. Capious. I'm just reading it. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and explain what this warrant is. Okay. It's a capious warrant, capious pro fine warrant. A capious warrant is issued when a subject has a guilty judgment either through court appearance, plea, or arraignment in jail, then fails to pay a fine or complete some specified conditions within the required time period. The only way to resolve a capious warrant is to pay the fine in full or be released time served by remaining in jail until enough jail credit has been earned. Civil capious warrant, which is what this is. A civil capious warrant is a special type of apprehension order issued in civil court cases where the defendant repeatedly fails to comply with the judge's orders. These are also called body attachments and minimuses, I guess, and are slightly different from criminal warrants. A civil capious warrant is not the same as a criminal arrest warrant. Very important that we understand that, folks. The purpose of the civil capious warrant in a contempt case, however, is to get a person into court for the hearing. So they're just trying to get him to show up. That's all this is. They're trying to get him to show up. So that's all there is to this. There's no, we don't have any kidnapping charge. We don't have any criminal charges attached to him as of yet. I don't know if that's going to come later, but as of right now, there are no criminal charges. He just simply has this civil court warrant issued for his arrest, because basically they just want him to show up to court. Yeah, perfectly imperfect, perfectly said. Perfectly imperfectly put. They basically just want him to bring his ass to court. That is it. Wicked beekeeper, sit down. Sit your ass down. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Nicole H., also known as a bench warrant. It's not nearly the same thing, because you get a bench warrant when you don't show up to a criminal court as well. So what I'm pretty sure that I had a bench warrant when I got arrested for not paying a jaywalking ticket. Now, it wasn't like the cops were out looking for me. It just so happens that my name is in the system. If I happen to be approached by a police officer and they say, "Can I see your ID?" and I give them my ID, well, then my ID, they're going to run it, and then they're going to say, "Oh, we got to place you under arrest." Thank you, BTU. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Well, you didn't have to hide Wicked Beekeeper Cherry K. I just I just put him on a timeout. I'm just telling him to sit down and shut up for a minute while I explain things properly here. So I've got almost 300 people in here right now. Let me do this real quick. I'm real curious, guys. Real curious. So type of 1, if you think that Michael is just protecting Sophie, just being a dad protecting his daughter. Type of 2, if you think that he is so committed to this, to a lie, that he's willing to just go out in a total blaze of glory out of just sheer principle and take a lie this far. A lot of ones. See, I love that. I love that. Well, 3's not an option, Savannah Hamilton. So you sit down, but I'm not going to time you out. That's just ridiculous. Trying to punish someone whose way of dealing with this is to hire a PR firm and start slapping ominous threats and bogus threats of lawsuits at YouTube creators. Sorry, I don't feel sorry for this person at all. So that's why 3 is not an option. And that's perfectly cool too, Candace Pena Rice. I will say this. I don't have solid evidence of anything. other than I have solid evidence that things have been mishandled by the court. I have solid evidence that Sophie has made these claims. So I'm going to type a 1, right? Maybe a 1.25, because the way that I'm seeing this is, do I believe that Michael is just protecting his daughter? Yes, I do. But for sure, what I know in my heart is I believe that he believes that he's protecting his daughter. So his heart is definitely in the right place. But we still need to have facts. We still need to know that, because the fact of the matter is you got these idiots that are saying an investigation took place and they closed it. No, a half-assed investigation took place and they closed it. They didn't thoroughly investigate anyone. And we know this. Now, I didn't watch all 6 hours of Rekieta Laws live yesterday. I think from the interview that I had with him in an hour and a half, we got all the information that we needed, short of actually showing court documents, which I was not willing to do. Let's see. And I don't know if this is true, but Angelina Barrera says, Will, there's a lot going on behind the scenes here, and people don't understand that. Michael can still file a mandamus by the end of today. Okay. I don't know if that's true or not. Not a lawyer. What's up, Caleb? I haven't seen Caleb in a while. Yeah. Because she's actually filed a motion that I can share, actually. That I can share. Give me 1 second. I want to see if I can find it, though, because I have so many documents here. Recuse. I don't know. Let me see. Trying to see if some of these aren't really labeled properly. Oh, wait. No, hold on. Yeah. Like, there's the motion for recusal here. But there's something else. And I saw this last night. I could have sworn he showed this to me. Let me try something else here. But the fact is, Kelly's attorneys have filed a motion to have the stipulation lifted that Jake can't be around the kids. That's fact. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see if I can find that, but I'm having a hard time finding it right now because, I mean, Michael shared so many things with me. And then I'm going to explain why I think that's bogus. Yeah, so as far as the warrant goes, guys, keep in mind, I mean, so apparently this, what's her name? that Marlena girl that was staying on the property with him, apparently she has the same type of warrant and has had it for years, and there's never been an arrest. So, you know, unless he gets pulled over and they check his ID, you know, they're not going to put him in handcuffs. So I appreciate your patience, guys, while I look for this, but I can't even promise that I'm even going to find it. Oh, well, I can do something else because very, very interesting here. So Michael unsent all of those attachments. Good thing I downloaded all of them. And it's a good thing that I sent them to a third party for insurance. Okay. Motion to recuse and disqualify. Motion to appoint. No, that's not it. Nope. Wonder if this is it. All right. I mean, it has all the kids' names in it, so I don't want to share it. But I do have a motion here that they are trying to lift the injunction that that Jake can't be around the kids. So she has no intention of, I mean, and if I had to guess, I don't know for a fact, but if I had to guess, I'd say that Jake's family is the one footing the bill for all of Kelly's legal fees. And why and how can she afford a civil lawyer as well as a PR lawyer? One that's going around just slapping ominous threats at people all over the internet. So, I mean, I'm finding that interesting. But yeah, I mean, see, this is the thing. This is why I don't sit here and I go, oh my God, she's such a victim of Michael and blah, blah, blah. And he's just doing this to get back at Kelly and blah, blah, blah. I'm just not going to get behind that because her actions don't dictate that at all. Because the thing is I don't care. Listen, if my best chance of having my kids and the person that I'm trying to take them away from, and I'm trying to convince the court that they're dangerous and psychotic, right? Then screw a boyfriend. Forget that. Forget a significant other. These are my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to look at it and be like, you know what? The relationship, it wasn't so great anyway, because I've had to call 911 on this person multiple times. My kid has seen me get thrown across the room by this person. My daughter's accusing him of SA and trafficking. I mean, yeah, she has a kid with Jake, supposedly, but I mean, I don't care. You work something out. You work something out and you just go, hey, these are my kids. No, I don't think either parent is innocent either. Lady D85. I don't believe that. Yeah, I agree with you. But and I think that they're all acting like children, to be perfectly honest. But the fact of the matter is if this person who is who is the source of all of the turmoil, because that's all this is. And I'm not, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to sit here and think that, oh, well, Michael is this is all about Michael being jealous and trying to have control over his ex. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Because she wouldn't fight that much if that were the case. Because, I mean, she would, whatever, you could work something out. If she has a child with this other person, you could easily work something out and say, okay, well, I mean, maybe not easily, but you can get there where you have split time with this particular child and not worry about them being around the other children, because the other children clearly don't want to have anything to do with him. So to force your children on this tells me you're not making the best decisions for your own children. Hiring a PR firm because you're worried about the way the rest of the world, a bunch of strangers, sees you and not worried about how your kids see you, that tells me everything I need to know about you in this particular situation. So no, Kelly's not doing things that are Kelly's not doing things that are in the children's best interest. She is not some victim here. That is just not the case. I mean, she's just not. Her actions dictate that she's not. Her actions dictate that she's just as spiteful, if not the spiteful one in this situation. PR firm, dude. Who hires a PR firm in a custody case, dude? Who does that? It's ridiculous. Sit down. Sit down. I'm just gonna have fun just timing you out. Like I'm nocturnal, man. This is the morning for me. I'm drinking morning coffee right now. So here's the thing. So people, as far as this warrant goes, there's nobody actively out searching for Michael. Still, that hasn't changed. Now, the only thing that's changed is that there is this particular type of warrant that's issued in civil court. And this particular type of warrant just means they want him to show up to court. That's all they want. They want him to show up to court. So he's probably just buying time, more time to show up to court. I mean, so it's not that. I mean, so if I had Michael on here right now and I was asking him, what are you planning on doing? I would bet dollars to donuts that he would sit here and go, well, nothing. I'm going to continue to figure out what I can do to make this case go my way. I'm going to file more motions. That's exactly what I think he would say if he was sitting right here right now. I don't think he would, oh my God, I'm going to go turn myself in. That's like a bench warrant, dude. It's a civil court bench warrant. It's not even a bench warrant for criminal court, for not showing up to court for a criminal case. This isn't even that. He would probably dance around the question, Sherry K. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He probably would. But the thing is I'm not going to sit here and trash the dude because You got to understand, it's a delicate situation. This is a man that believes that he's protecting his daughter. Okay. Whether you believe it or not, doesn't matter. He believes that he's protecting his daughter. So what's going on here is, you know, he's made it clear. He's like, I'm not going to put my daughter in any type of danger. I made it clear to him that if there is a criminal warrant out for his arrest and he doesn't turn himself in, then yes, he's indirectly putting Sophie in danger. And he was like, yeah, I would never do that. So he did answer your question. He did answer my question in that sense. This isn't the same. It's not as black and white. Okay. What's up, Ames? Que hola. So yeah, it's not as black and white as that. This is, they're like, okay, he needs to show up to court. And I don't believe that he's on the original property, but he declined to even give me any information on his current location. He wouldn't even tell me if he was in Texas. So, but he also stated that Sophie doesn't even have a passport. So I don't think he has any intentions of leaving the country. Like everything I got in a nutshell from my interview with him last night was basically he's just going to keep filing motions and trying to fight this case for it to go his way. He's going to continue to follow the letter of the law as best as he possibly can. Now, is he breaking the law by not turning himself in because there's this capious warrant? Technically, you know what I mean? Technically, but you know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, that's kind of like, oh my God, you know, I littered, you know, I littered on the street and, you know, and I didn't walk up to a cop and go, hey, can you give me a ticket? Because I just threw my garbage on the sidewalk here. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Maybe not quite, but picking my wedgies, he could not have gone to TJ unless he snuck over the border, but I seriously doubt that he's in TJ. TJ meaning Tijuana. Unless he snuck over the border, which I don't think he did. The guy sticks out like a sore thumb, people. I mean, you see the way the guy dresses. Nobody dresses like that. All right, Navy vet, thank you so much. As a survivor of SA, as a child, people need to understand the lifelong damage and resentment and hatred toward the parent who failed to protect you. That is a lifelong mental battle and struggle. Yeah, it's not just, think about that. His relationship with Sophie is so on the line because let's say that everything that Sophie is saying about Kelly and Jake is true. Let's say that. That relationship, if that's the case, then that relationship with them is absolutely ruined. But not only is Michael just doing this because he has to protect his child, his instinct is to protect his child, but he's also trying to protect his relationship with her too. She's counting on him to protect him. She's counting on only him to protect her. You know, us, we can only do so much. All I can do is come up here and talk about the stuff that I know. That's all I can do. And it's a delicate thing because I can't even share. If I shared with you guys some of the documents that I have, you guys would be like, oh my God. But because there's a child involved, I can't share that stuff with you. There's just no way. These medical records that I have, I can't share them. But Well, that's why I went live, because I'm not letting that idiot twist this into something that it's not. That's why I went live first. That's why I went live quickly, because I'm not going to let these idiots twist this into something that it's not. It's not like, you know, all hands on deck, boots on the ground, get Michael Long. That's not what's going on here. Not at all. Okay. It's just, they're like, okay, officers, if you happen to see this guy, bring him to court. That's it. Samara, get your ass out of here. Get out. Well, it's not a bench warrant, because a bench warrant applies, I think, to criminal charges. This is a civil court thing. So it's a capious warrant or a copious warrant, or however you say it. I don't know how you say it. I've only read it. Yeah, I don't think I mean, why? Why go to Mexico? You know what I mean? What's the point? Doesn't make any sense. Nobody's looking for this guy, dude. That's my whole point. I get it. If you go, I get going to Mexico because, you know, the cops are after you. You know, there's a bolo out on you. There's not even a bolo out on this guy. Bolo meaning be on the lookout. Yep. Sit down, Ninja Mom Life. You got a big mouth. Capious, thank you. Candace Pena Rice, just killing it today. Thank you. Candace Pena Rice. Candice Peña Arroz. No, there's not an Amber Alert, Ames. That's what I'm trying to say. What's up, Keely Talks? For those of you who like psychic readings, subscribe to Keely Talks. It's got a good channel. Okay, so Kit Kat Mama is saying copious. Is it capious or copious? That's the discrepancy here. We don't know. We don't know. But it really doesn't matter. What matters is it just means, hey man, we need you to show up to court. They're basically just insisting that he comes to court. They're not saying your ass is coming to court. They're saying, come to court, we insist. That's basically what that means. Look at all these different capious. Everybody's correcting now. I love it. Thank you. Welcome, Rochelle Mitchell is now a member in the troll zone. Let's see here. Courtney, a capious warrant is essentially an order to arrest and detain an individual for the purpose of guaranteeing a court appearance. Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you. You should be up here talking while I drink my coffee and just shut up. Oh, God. Is this going to make me mad, Kit Kat Mama? Is this going to get on my nerves? Okay. Copyous. How to pronounce. Here it is.
Copious.
Copious. So it is copious. Kit Kat Mama got sick of it. She's like, check Discord. I'm sick of y'all mispronouncing this word. So copious, a copious warrant is issued for Michael Long, and that's all there is to it. There is no bolo. There's no Amber Alert. Sophie is not considered to be in danger by law enforcement. The courts have ruled that she is in danger with Michael. The court ruled that, but the court also did a lot of messed up stuff to get to that point. And I've seen it. I've heard attorneys point it out. I've seen the evidence myself. I've heard the evidence. I heard this guardian ad litem, who is now the guardian ad litem is they are charged with the responsibility of representing the child in these custody fights, right? Connie Lynn, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. And I heard a recorded conversation between her and Michael and Courtney in the background. I heard a recorded conversation of her admitting bias. I mean, total conflict of interest. She said her and the judge, they all hang out. One judge was married to another judge that was appointed to the case. I mean, all kinds of, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So many things mishandled here. And when I look at Michael and I talk to him, he doesn't seem crazy to me. Sorry. I've never seen anything that indicates to me that he is dangerous in any way, shape, or form. I think he likes to talk. I think he's got a bit of an ego, but I don't find him to be, personally, I don't find him to be dangerous in any way, shape, or form. I don't find him to be mean-spirited. Hold on, let me see. Katie, the crazy nail lady. But just the fact that there's a warrant for him put Sophie in danger. Does he want the cops to bust down the door and cuff him in front of Sophie? And that's best case scenario? No, that's not best case scenario. No, you're not listening to anything that I'm saying. The cops aren't even looking for him in order to bust down his door and cuff him. That is not what's going on. This warrant, you're making this warrant to be like it's a black and white thing. No, that's not the case. I don't think that he thinks that the rules don't apply to him. No, I think that he is seeing things that are total inconsistencies in the way that they handle things, and the way that the court officers have been handling this case. And he's seeing signs of corruption, which I saw those same signs of corruption. I've seen them myself. It's enough to raise questions at least, but these questions were never asked. These things were never looked into. These things were never investigated. So okay, so Aurora Tea Garden. Okay, I mean, serial killers are usually are personable. Do you don't really know what someone is like behind closed doors? But it's also just ridiculously irresponsible and just plain dumb and ignorant to assume that they're the worst because serial killers are. Why are you comparing a guy that has never had any charges for violence, never even had the cops called on him for a violent act? Why are you comparing him to a serial killer? That's blatantly ignorant. I mean, King Duck he probably should have showed up today. But again, it's not the same thing. He doesn't have a criminal warrant out for his arrest. And I admit it's a little, the thumbnail I used here is a little misleading. I just I admit it's a little manipulative, a little bit of clickbait. I get that, but you guys are more drawn when something is that dramatic, because I needed to get you guys here to listen, to reason, to listen, so that when you go and you hear these other channels talk about it, you understand that that's just not the case. Okay? He is not, you know, there's not a bunch of cops out, you know, standing there in a roll call going, all right, gentlemen, shoot to kill. You know what I mean? That's not happening. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I have to, Shyla. I have to. I gotta cop to the clickbait, because the thing is you know, it's important. I don't want misinformation spread, and I needed to get as many people in here so that because the people that I want to make sure that they get proper information, the type of person is the person that's going to jump to this conclusion that Michael is being hunted down, you know. So I need I needed to get their attention, because they're the ones looking for all the drama. All right. People, aka, in my opinion, Kelly Long, who has nothing to hide, hidden. What? In my opinion, Kelly Long has been hiding. Dude, I don't know what you're saying. This is like Dr. Seuss on acid. I don't know what you're saying here. In my opinion, KL, who have nothing to hide nothing. In my opinion, KL is hiding and has been behind her lawyer and PR firm. Okay, yeah, now I get it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Where's the cry out? Where is the public outcry? Abe's is saying, you sound like you could do that movie announcer voice. One man, and no one is looking for him. Let's see. Navy Jet, thank you again. Just like you don't know if your next door neighbor or your child's teacher, pastor, father, uncle, cousin, your best friend's husband is a pedophile because they look normal, and you don't know secrets. I mean, yeah. Yeah, exactly. One man, and no one is looking for him. One man, one child, a shit ton of nosy people. To protect my child, I would hope I would stop and do anything I could to make my child feel like they are being heard, and that I am doing everything I can to make them feel safe. I agree. Yeah. Kelly's motion for the courts to remove the order against Jake at this time just floors me. Right. Like, it's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Why not just be like, listen, dude, it's not working out. My kids are important. Doesn't make any sense, dude. It doesn't make any sense. The PR firm, I mean, yeah, like, all it does is support the narrative that Michael is creating about her. And the funny thing is, he doesn't even trash talk her. Like, he doesn't. He's up here. And Courtney is texting me while I got him on this channel, and he won't trash talk Courtney. This is this horrible, manipulative guy, this horrible, psychotic, crazy man. And this guy won't even trash talk an ex. Dude, I'll trash my exes all day, dude. All day. I don't know if that's actually true, King Duck, but I hope so. The warrant will be gone if he appears. It isn't criminal. Now, mind you guys, what Michael is saying, what's stopping him from actually going and turning himself in, is he's possibly facing jail time. But what they're doing is they're just going to order him to go to jail. If that motion goes through, they're just going to order him to go to jail without a trial jury. And I agree with him. I mean, you can't just have all these people that you suspect of being corrupt and mishandling this case. You can't just have them determine your fate and you're just going to sit there quietly. I wouldn't do that. There's no way I would do that. That's crazy. I would absolutely want a trial. I would want 12 jurors of my peers to listen to the evidence, and I would want the chance to present the evidence that I have that the case was totally mishandled. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, people, you got to use your eyes. You got to use your eyes, people. Like, why is this guy a priority over her own children? Because that's what it sure seems like. Then who is Kelly, choosing her man or her children and daughter who has made accusations against you and your man? Right. Like, that doesn't make sense to me either. Because there's nothing to indicate that Michael is dangerous to this child. There's literally nothing to indicate that. And Courtney coming out all of a sudden and saying these things doesn't make any sense, because she was there too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like if I'm a judge in the custody thing between for Phoenix, then I'm gonna go, well, I mean, but weren't you there the whole time? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Weren't you doing all the legwork? Let's see. Will, can you explain why the majority of the YouTubers who covered the Sophie case and supported Michael have since turned on him or decided not to comment at all? Yeah, I could absolutely explain that. Because Michael was, I've explained it 100 times, actually. Michael is the one person that can protect Sophie. The one person. And his credibility matters. His credibility is something that he needs to have in order to be able to help Sophie. And if you're going around shacking up with people that you met on the internet, because that's the way it looked, I don't know. He denies doing it. He denies that was the case. But if you're supposedly if it comes off like you cheated on your wife or she left or whatever, and then you're shacking up with people that you met on the internet, well, that's a bad look. And people who are supporting him, well, it's like, well, what good are we doing supporting you if you're not even doing what you're not even acting in the most responsible way to support your daughter and help your daughter? What the hell am I doing? Because that's how I felt about it. That's how I felt about it. So I can't speak for anyone else, but that's how I felt about it. So I'm not, I'm not pro Michael. I'm pro Sophie. And it seems to me like he's still fighting for her. So to a certain degree, yeah, I'm still going to support him. Absolutely. Because my opinion hasn't changed. I still believe Sophie. I still believe her claims. I don't think, with all the evidence that was shared with me, here's the thing. Here's what's really, really funny. So Kelly hires a PR firm, but what good is that PR firm really doing her? Because what's going on here, let's be honest, Michael is sharing documents going, this is proof. This is data that indicates what's going on here. But Kelly hasn't shared anything. Kelly's been quiet. She hires a PR lawyer, but the PR lawyer doesn't even release anything. The PR lawyer doesn't even speak up in her defense. What are you doing? What is the PR firm doing besides throwing threats at people, saying, shut up, telling people to shut up or else? That's a bad look, dude. All that does is make me believe Sophie that much more. That's all it does. Okay. Is there someone named Angelina in this chat? Okay. Angelina. I will be happy to have you on panel if you would like to join me and speak your mind on what you have. So let me know if you want me to drop a link, Angelina, and I will let you up here. But I'm not letting anybody else up here except Angelina. I don't do that open panel crap anymore. Sometimes I get a wild hair up my butt and I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that. But today I'm not in the mood. It's too early. Crazy Tunes, I couldn't agree more. Like I said yesterday, man, I don't care who's effing who. I don't care. I don't care who's with who, who's not with who. I don't care. Now, I care whether or not Jake is with Kelly because Jake is considered to be a direct danger to these kids. I'm not hearing from Angelina. That's a great point. I never thought of that. I never actually, that's a off topic. Does the term mean wild hair? Like as in hair on your head or hair like a rabbit? I imagine both. But I feel like the rabbit one makes the most sense. That's what I think. Well, he shouldn't be around them because the kids don't like him. Dude, if I'm that right there speaks volumes too. Like if my kids hate the person that I'm with, if my kids hate my girlfriend, I'm dumping her. Like, if you're with me, you're with my kids. If you can't get along with my kids, it's a deal breaker. It just is. I mean, makes no sense. Like, why are people not seeing that? Because I'm going to tell you guys right now, if there's any moms in here, I'm going to tell you right now, straight up, don't care. I'm going to tell you straight up, like Chris from Interview Room, straight up. If you are a mother, you got kids, right? You're a mom, you got kids, and you're with a man, and that man, that your kids can't stand this guy. And your oldest is adamant. Like, I'm deathly afraid of this person. Dude, if you don't get rid of this dude, then you're a bad mother. I don't care what you say. Don't care what you say. You're a crappy mom. Plain and simple. Dump the dude. Work out a relationship with your kids. Because all Kelly's doing is making what Michael's saying make sense. Exactly. Where is she? Oh, okay. Hold on. All right. So Angelina, you want to come up? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link in chat. Okay. You're going to see it. It's going to have my name, the Glarer, in yellow. And you're going to see a link that says StreamYard. And you're going to click on this link. And I'm not letting anyone else up here other than Angelina. So if you're not Angelina Barrera, you will not be let on panel. Let's see. Marianne says, thank you. By the way, I don't care. He would be gone immediately. No question. My son is everything. Exactly. Right. Oh, man, I'm about to knock my computer down. Look who it is. Okay, here we go. Hey, Lou. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just great.
Okay,
Thank
awesome.
you for joining me up here.
Yeah, no problem. Man, the last 48 hours has been eye-opening for my fiance's case. Jamie Graham reached out to me.
Okay, for those of
Without
you that
going
don't
into
know, Jamie Graham is Michael's former attorney, who is no longer under his employ. I'm assuming because he ran out of money to pay. Lawyers cost a lot of money.
Correct.
But just for those of you who don't know, that's who Jamie Graham is. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Angelina.
No, you're fine. Fortunately enough for him, he ended up with a really great attorney like we did. She's not afraid to burn the house down, per se. So she is trying to assist him to a certain extent, I believe. And she called me this morning because she was majorly concerned that they were going to issue a warrant out for Michael's arrest. So my case, my fiance's case, coincides with Michael's case because the amicus on our case is Rachel Lee and the judge is Cynthia Wheelis.
Oh,
Yes. You
interesting.
have no idea. So Rachel Lee was assigned to my fiance's case in May of 2020. This has been an ongoing 2-year horror, I would say. I could send you documents and everything, we can connect after this without going into too much detail. Basically, essentially what is happening is Wheelis and Lee, they are working together and they're extorting my fiance for $25,000 that they ordered. Wheelis signed an order to enter into the courts as additional child support so that it would be enforceable so that they could jail him if he did not pay it.
Wow.
This is
So, I mean,
very
but
real.
what are the grounds of them demanding this money? What are they demanding the money for?
Oh, you want to know what they're demanding the money for? For amicus
Yeah.
fees, because it's in the best interest of the children, Will. That's why. It's in the
So they're
best
charging
interest of the children.
amicus. They're charging amicus fees, is what it is. So the court
Twenty-five,
appoints the
twenty-five
amicus.
thousand dollars.
So the court appoints an amicus.
Yes.
How is that not a racket? So the
So this
court
is what sucks
assigns
is
the court appoints an amicus attorney, but then turns around and charges the person in civil court $25,000. Now, wouldn't both parents be held responsible to pay that? If they're
yeah.
going to charge one parent, why wouldn't they charge both?
So they charged his ex $4,800. And they charged him $25,000. And Rachel Lee's justification for that is, oh, well, he makes way more money than her. The original agreement was signed in the order that they were to split these fees
Well,
half and half, 50-50.
that kind of makes sense to me in a way, because I mean, again, I'm not an attorney, so I don't know, and I'm just going to play devil's advocate here. But when it comes to child support in most states, they go by the income of the parent who's ordered to pay child support.
I agree with you, Will, but here's the thing. Remember when Michael was talking about there was not a notice of hearing sent out for one of his hearings, and they were basically discussing taking away his parental rights?
Yeah.
They pulled the same stunt in our case. On December 3rd of 2020, there was no notice of hearing sent out, and there was a hearing to be held to decide on these amicus fees. During this hearing, my fiance's law firm ended up having an attorney who was not familiar with this case show up because they were not notified of this case. There was no proper notice of hearing sent out. Okay. So the attorney that was with our law firm showed up, and he fought his, he stood his grounds for my fiance, and he let him know, hey, my client can't afford these fees. There was no testimony. Bill, keep in mind, you have to prove that you can pay these fees. There was no testimony made by my fiance that he could pay these fees, or any check stubs, tax statements, anything sent in on our behalf. Nothing. No testimony.
So basically your point here is that how did they even know how much money he makes?
That's the thing, is Rachel Lee likes to go based off of what mom is saying. And according to mom, dad is a partial millionaire.
What? So
there was never any testimony entered regarding his income. There was no documents submitted, nothing at this point. They held this phantom hearing and decided that dad is to pay $25,000, and Wheelis signed the order ordering it as additional child support, which is a violation of the Texas Constitution.
See, Michael was saying something last night.
He was talking about our case
that I agree with. Why can't there be federal intervention on this?
See,
if the state is all working together to basically extort money out of people, because I mean somebody's making $1 out of it. So I mean the $25,000, that's doesn't make any sense at all. I've never even heard of that. That's private.
Her entire argument is that it's in the best interest of the children. No, the best interest of the children, she brought up on May 6th, they had an enforcement hearing where our attorney fought very well, and she made it very clear this is a violation of my client's constitutional rights. And on top of that, additionally, there was no testimony to prove he could afford this. There was nothing, no documents submitted. Where are you getting this from? We told you my client can't afford this. And the judge continued to read my husband his rights. She continued right there on record, continued to read him his rights and pretend like she heard nothing that our attorney said. And not only that, but the amicus says, well, Mr. Almager, he purchased a home for the children, so there's no reason why he can't afford my fees.
Wow.
That was her argument. Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean,
the plot thickens. There's another layer to this.
It's like Christy Myers is saying here, an amicus attorney is supposed to provide legal services necessary to protect the person's best interests. What the hell are they doing? Right. So,
she's doing nothing. She's doing nothing. That's the problem. Rachel
she's
Lee
extorting
is a piece of
money.
work. Yeah,
she's extorting money
is what she's doing. We have a forensic psychiatrist that we hired on our case that has stated that the children should be with dad. Rachel Lee says, well, Mr. Almaguer can pay me my $25,000 and I'll testify in court that the kid should be with him. Literally have it in a recording on record. Like,
wait, say
can't
that
make
one
this
more
stuff
time.
up.
Say that one more time.
She literally told our attorney, and we have a recording of this.
Okay.
If
This is Rachel Lee?
Yes, if he pays me the $25,000, I'll gladly testify in court that the kid should be with him. Just tell him to pay me my fees.
Wow.
And additionally, let me tell you even more, Will. During the December 3rd hearing, one of the things that was
can you
argued
play
by
that right now? Can you play that right now?
I'd have to cut like basically like a video from a video. I will gladly send you all these documents and everything that you need with this case. Like it is
Sure.
so close and similar to Michael Long's case. I believe everything that Michael Long's stating, and I do not think that he is unstable or any of these things that people are painting him as. It sounds like something out of a movie,
I've never
straight up from a movie.
I'm not a psychiatrist, but I have not seen any indication. Like I see crazy people on here all the time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
get crazy all the time. And I'm like, okay, yo, crazy, get out of here. And I dismiss. I could smell crazy. I could smell it. I don't get that from Michael Long. You know what I mean? Now, that's just my gut. It's just my life experience. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not a mental health professional, but I'm not. I don't get that indication. I don't get that vibe from him ever. I never have.
Everyone like anytime like something like corruption, people are just automatically just putting him in this box. Oh, he's crazy. And I know with fact, before the Sophie Long story broke, we were literally knocking our heads trying to figure out what are we doing wrong? Why is this amicus not seeing that the children are in a horrible situation? Why is she not siding with dad? What do we do? And then the Sophie Long story hit and we were like, holy shit balls. All the floodgates opened. Like I said, on December 3rd, there's another layer to this case. This amicus has a history of lying under oath. And I know for a fact because I've spoken with several dads and moms in Collin County that have had run-ins with this amicus where she lies about conflicts of interest, where she shouldn't have even taken the case from the very beginning. She has like attorneys working for her law firm that were working for the opposing party's law firm. That's the case in our case as well, is that she basically stated that she never contracted an attorney with our law firm to work a case for her. And that was a lie, and she lied under oath. And we have receipts from our law firm to prove that she hired and contracted this attorney and then went on to hire this attorney at her law firm as a practicing attorney, had him listed on her website. But she told Judge Wheelis during the December 3rd hearing, this isn't a conflict of interest. He only rented office space from me.
That's still a conflict of interest. That's still some sort of it's a business relationship outside of the case. I mean, I would think so. I don't know, but I would think so.
We've already confirmed with the ethics committee. It is definitely a conflict of interest. We're in the middle of litigation as well, dealing with mandamuses and dealing with ethics committee complaints, and we're right there next to Michael. Literally, like Jamie has said, we need to join forces and something needs to be done because these people are getting away with awful things.
And Jamie is currently representing you, correct?
No. Jamie that's in Dallas. Jamie and I have had contact for several months now because she's followed our case closely because it's so similar to Michael's, it's undeniable. And the stunts that they are pulling in our case are so undeniable that she's fed up with seeing Michael's case going this way and my fiance's case going this way. And apparently there's other families that have talked to the father's rights group. Same amicus, same judge, same story, same game. And so this is all going to blow up very soon. And I don't know if it's due to Sophie Long's case or if it's just that people are just fed up. Like people are fed up and there's attorneys that are coming forward and they're saying enough is enough. Jamie is literally like, enough is enough. Something has to be done. I will join in y'all's fight. And so I don't know to what extent. I know she has contact with Michael. I don't know to what extent she's helping him, but I know that she is of interest. Like she's helping Michael. Like the mandamus, I know for certain she backed him on that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a mess. This is a mess. And
our first Our first sign from this amicus that there was going to be issues before we even knew about the long case should have been, I'll send you the clip during the parent interview. I don't know if I'm able to send something in here or what, but during the parent interview, she literally looks my fiance in his eye. He goes, "Yeah," she says. Rachel Lee says, "It's not fun until an attorney tries to remove me off the case." Ha ha. And she's got this evil laugh, and she says, "But no one's been successful yet."
I mean, yeah. Nicole H. That's a question that I can't answer. You know, how much does Jamie want to represent Michael? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she did a great job for him prior, but for whatever reason, she can't represent him now. Or otherwise she would be. But according to Angelina here, she's still
From
been
my
helping.
understanding, from my understanding, the reason why people, and I'm not saying specifically Jamie because I can't speak to that, what I know is what Michael has told me. Um, Attorneys are refusing to work a case and refusing to step forward because they're afraid to lose their bar license. And I can testify to this because our attorney, after she spoke up against Rachel Lee in open court, magically had this ethics complaint against her and was facing disbar of horrible complaints being put on her. And I could only imagine what Jamie went through dealing with this case. How many complaints were placed against her? I can only
I mean,
imagine.
because what you're doing, I mean, it boils down. I say this on my channel all the time, man. What's the answer to 99 out of 100 questions, people? Money. So if you're hitting, if you're messing with their wallets, if you're messing with somebody's wallet that's high up there that can make decisions, you know, they're going to shut you up. They're going to shut you down. They're going to protect their income.
All about money. She's all about money. She's literally told our attorney, "Well, I don't know about you, but I don't work for free." Like, she's made slide comments like that to our attorney. Like, she is the most vile human being.
But
like,
that's what I don't understand. If she's the amicus attorney, then she's court appointed. She works for the state or the county. So
no,
she already has a paycheck. She already has a salary. So why is she demanding more money?
The way amicus appointments work is that basically the judge can appoint an amicus at any
So the
point.
judge appoints an amicus. So you're going to make me pay 25 grand for an amicus attorney that I don't get to pick? You pick them? That's not. That can't be ethical. That can't be ethical.
That's literally what happened. Well, the problem with our case is whenever the amicus is appointed, all the parties have to agree to it. At the time, our attorney had no idea because the Sophie Long case had not come out. Nothing really major had happened with Rachel Lee. From her understanding and previous experiences with Rachel Lee, she was a great amicus and she was in the best interest of the children. And those are the praises that our attorney, read us. So she's great. She's going to be amazing. She's going to get to the bottom of what's going on. She's going to see what's going on with mom. And that's what we were sold on. But we had no idea. I don't think anyone in our case, in our matter, could have ever.
Oh, we lost sound. It does sound like that mother of two little girls. It sounds like they've got this little racket going on between everybody where everybody gets some sort of kickback. That's what it sounds like. I don't know if that's the case because it sounds pretty far-fetched. I mean, it sounds like a conspiracy theory, frankly. But I mean, well, that's the thing though. See, Nicole H., you're saying we need to contact the mayor, the governor, the governor's wife, the attorney general, and get this out there. Well, the thing is it's already out there. And one of the judges, from what I understand, from my understanding of Michael, is one of the judges was actually appointed by the governor himself. So this goes all the way up in the state of Texas. And it makes perfect sense because, they say that it's in the best interest of a child, but it's a great cover. I mean, to create a racket and use family court to generate this income amongst everyone it's a great cover. You know, nobody's looking. Nobody's paying attention to private civil court. Nobody's paying attention to that. Yeah, we keep losing Angelina. I think she's just got a bad internet connection, bad service connection right now. I mean, but it's worth a try, Bobby Lent. It's worth a try. I mean, what a nightmare this must be for these people. What a nightmare. Like, it's like a bad dream where literally there's no one there to help you. The system is designed to help you. The system is designed to protect your kids, but nobody's doing it. You have to count on the law, and you have to count on the courts to protect your kids, and yet they're doing the exact opposite. That's a nightmare, or at least it appears that way.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Yeah, guys, I get the feeling that I'm going to be talking about this quite a bit. Yeah, so Angelina is having some audio issues, unfortunately. But in the meantime, guys, I mean, this is not something that it's in my nature to just ignore. So I think I'm going to be talking about this quite a bit. I think I'm fully invested in this Sophie thing all over again. God help me. But this needs to be talked about. This needs to be explored. Yeah, there's got to be. I mean, what about the Texas Supreme Court? But again, like I said, if the governor himself is appointing judges that have no business handling these cases because they're not experienced, which is what Michael was telling me, well, then who's to say that the governor's not just as corrupt? This is a nightmare for these people. Yeah, so unfortunately we did lose Angelina, but I'm going to wrap this up anyways, guys. So any updates that I get moving forward, guys, I'm going to keep you guys posted. I haven't heard back from Michael. I sent him a text saying that I was going to go live with this. So I'd like to hear from him. I mean, I don't think I need to have him on the stream necessarily. I would like to get some sort of statement from him regarding what he plans to do moving forward here. But because we're all concerned about Sophie's safety, and it's not just whether or not she goes back to an environment like Kelly's or where Kelly or Jake could be any type of threat to Sophie. We also want to make sure that she's safe with Michael too. So I hope that he's going to stay on top of that, because the best way for him to keep us behind Sophie here and keep fighting for Sophie is to keep us informed of what's going on and what he plans to do moving forward and speaking out. So hopefully he'll continue to do that. Kareen, why won't I hear from him right now? No, she's not. She's not still texting me. We had an exchange of words via text, which I won't get into after the fact. But she basically, I cornered her with something and kind of called her out, and then she just refused to respond. So, yeah. And I mean, and it's the same question everyone here is asking, when it comes to her, like, why the flip flop, why the flip flop? So yeah. And of course she was real quick to, you don't understand this and you don't understand that. And then it's like, but, and then she just refused to answer. So, well, I mean, look at this. So this is a good point here. Would it be better for her to be in foster care so they can get to the bottom of it? But what's going on here is the way Michael looks at things is the entire system's corrupt. The entire system's corrupt. And this stuff can happen, people. It's not unrealistic. Right now on HBO, there's a movie called Changeling. Okay? Now, this movie takes place in like the 20s, right? But this happened. Angelina Jolie, Clint Eastwood directed it. It's a brilliant movie and it's a true story. So for those of you who are not familiar with this movie and you have HBO, watch it. Because basically this woman's child goes missing. Cops, they don't want to do anything about it. And so they end up bringing her some other kid and telling her, hey, this is your son. We found your son. And they're posing for the newspapers and taking pictures like we're heroes because we found this woman's missing son, but it wasn't her son. And she's sitting there trying to say, hey, this isn't my child. But this is the 20s and women are not taken seriously. Women are oh God, she's just a woman. They're crazy. All women are crazy. That was the general consensus back then. She worked in this as a switchboard operator. Roller skating around. So basically this dude, or the cops, all of these cops, like they all worked in concert basically to create this thing where they find some kid who was basically a drifter and it's not her son, and they tell her she's crazy and they lock her up because she insists that's not my kid. I know my kid. Like the kid is, she measured on the door frame his growth, right? And the kid was like significantly shorter than the last mark of her son. One kid was circumcised, the other one wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. And then it turned out that a serial killer picked up this kid and murdered her son. And then they found out later, but the cops did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. They actually they worked harder to make her out to be crazy than they did to protect her interests and find her missing child. And it's a true story. It's a true story. These things can happen. I'm not saying that it's likely. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying it's absolutely possible. And I'm saying it has happened before. Oh, Coda lady. Coda's giving me kisses. Oh, you're good, Angelina Barrera. Appreciate it. I don't even know, dude. But apparently Nick Rekieta just put out a 1-minute video regarding this warrant. So I'm going to get off here and I'm going to watch that. And I would imagine that he's going to have better information about it, a better explanation about it than I will. So anyways, guys, I love you very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.